Welcome to Faith in Cars, and today we will do an ownership's review of nothing less than the Mercedes C400. It has been 2 years owning the C400, and during this time it has been reliable, but I still want to share some details and costs of owning a C400 and what to look for when buying a C400 or a C Class in general. In 2 years of owning this car it has done around 40,000 kilometers. That's an average of 20,000 kilometers per year, with an average fuel consumption of 10 liters per 100 kilometers. It has used about 2,000 liters of fuel per year. So much about fuel consumption. Let's move on to maintenance. It has a maintenance interval of once a year. Basic maintenance costs are around 400 euros. Of course, that price is without any additional maintenance like brakes or tires, or repairs for that matter. The only sort of repair this car needed was a software update for the collision prevention assist system. It needed that software update because it wasn't functioning, and it is a common issue in the W205 Mercedes C Class. But with a software update of around 70 euros, I believe, the problem is solved. In 2 years of owning this car, only once the tires has been changed. The type of tires I've chosen are the Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires. Well, compared to the tires before that, these Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tires, they use a little bit more fuel. They also give you more feeling of the roads. So the ride is a little less comfortable. In return, this car grips very well. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with the Michelin Pilot 4 tires, and I would recommend them. And the costs of those tires was around 600 euros for all 4 of them. The total maintenance cost in 2 years, including the tires, was 2250 euros. So that's 1125 euros a year. Keep in mind, this is without fuel costs, this is without insurance, without taxes, without purchasing costs. What about common issues for the W205 Mercedes C Class? Well, because it's a fairly new model, it doesn't have a lot of issues yet, and a common one was on the earlier models. The steering column made a like a cracking sound when steering, and that was due to a rubber, and this was on the earlier models, and they changed it under warranty. But yeah, if it's not under warranty, then the cost for that, including all the labor work, it's around 500 euros. So it's not, yeah, it's a little rubber, but the labor work costs a lot. Next to the steering column, the collision prevention assist, like we mentioned earlier, can give you a malfunction. But other than that, the W205 Mercedes C Class doesn't have common mistakes. Well, let's talk about the engine. It is the M276 BiTurbo V6 petrol engine. And let's talk about oil usage. It's actually pretty non-existent. It's very good in my opinion, knocking on wood. Fuel economy of this engine, as I mentioned before, it's on average 10 liters per 100 kilometers. And on highways you can go as low as 7.5. And when you're really on it and in city centers, then yeah, it can go up to 13 liters per 100 kilometers. Well, so much for the common issues of the W205 C Class. Now let's talk about what to look for when buying a C Class. Keep in mind, nowadays everything is optionally on cars. Well, if you want, for example, if you want a upgraded multimedia interface, you have to pay extra. You have to pay extra for electrically adjustable seats. You have to pay extra for sport seats, for exterior trims, interior trims. And you may expect that some things are standard equipment on a car, but believe me, with the C Class you're in for a surprise. Parking sensors are optional. Another thing that you would expect to be standard equipment, but it isn't, is a center armrest in the rear bench. So in your C Class you would expect to have a standard center armrest in the rear bench, but no, it's optional. You have to pay extra. Another thing that you would expect to be standard equipment, but it isn't, is a folding down rear bench to carry longer items. The folding down rear bench is only standard equipment with the T model or the Estate, and with the sedan, coupe or convertible it's a option. Well, we've talked about maintenance, we've talked about options that you would expect to be standard equipment but aren't. Let's now talk about options that I recommend you get. Well, let's start with the multimedia interface. You should definitely go with the upgraded command online multimedia interface, because it has a lot more functions. The graphics are a lot better than the standard Garmin multimedia interface. Another option that I can't go without anymore in a Mercedes-Benz are the memory seats, and next to that I really can't go without the upgraded sound system, the Burmester surround sound system. It sounds so good, it sounds so crisp. Also, another option that I would like to have now is a panoramic sunroof. Yeah, that option brightens up the interior. It leads in fresh air without all the wind noise of when you lower your window. W205 C Class was also available with a lot of assist systems, like lane keeping assist, blind spot assist. Well, blind spot assist would come in handy in my opinion, but it would also make you lazy, I guess, and make you too dependent on these systems. So yeah, would I need them? Would I really want them? No, I don't. I rather spend the extra costs for those systems to things like memory seats or upgraded sound system. What about exterior and interior trim? Well, this car is equipped with the AMG line exterior package. It is in the color diamond silver. It's a metallic color, and I still, after 2 years, I'm still in love with this color. I mean, it looks gray at night, and it looks when the sun is on, it looks like very light blue, like the color of the sky. It's a really nice exterior color in my opinion. And the AMG line exterior package, it makes the car look sporty, and with the AMG line 18-inch wheels, rims, it's a very nice looking sedan. Still to this day, it's still a very nice looking sedan in my opinion, and I'm still very pleased with the exterior appearance of this car. Well, if you take a look into the interior of the C Class, we have the AMG line interior package, and yeah, the color combination, this car has white leather, and you guessed it, with white leather. I mean, when it's clean it looks very good, it looks gorgeous, but yeah, you have to clean it every 2 or 3 months, otherwise it will get very nasty. And wood inlay here, standard, it's a piano black inlay in the center and aluminium on the doors. Well, this car has a glossy wooden inlay also on the center and also on the doors. What it is with glossy finishes like the piano black and this glossy wood, it scratches very easily, but the inlay I really like is the Essen wood in black. Then you feel the texture of the wood, you can feel it, and it doesn't collect a lot of dust, and also it isn't scratchable. Yeah, I would definitely go with the Essenwood interior trims. Another thing about the technical aspects of the C Class, you have a different transmission, of course. The earlier models came in with the 7G Tronic automatic transmission, and from around in the middle of 2016 they introduced the 9G Tronic automatic transmission for the C Class, and the 9G Tronic responds a lot faster compared to the 7G Tronic. So I would definitely go with a car with the 9G Tronic transmission. And because it has more gears, it has 9 gears compared to the 7 gears from the 7G Tronic. It's also more fuel efficient. It keeps the revs lower on the highway, for example. Another option that I wish people would buy more is the 4MATIC air suspension. The air suspension offers so much more ride comfort to the C Class. I mean, in my opinion, it should be standard equipment for a C Class, because the air suspension is what sets the C Class above the competitors in its class. Well, let's try to sum this ownership's review up. This W205 Mercedes C400 has been reliable. Yeah, it's still a very nice looking car in my opinion. And if we talk about performance, well, like everything else, you get used to it. Yeah, it's still fast. It's still fast enough to lose your license in an instant. But yeah, I would like more horsepower. Yeah, who wouldn't like that? So, but would I recommend people to get a C400? Now we're in 2020. Yes, definitely. They have depreciated, so they are pretty attainable nowadays. And yeah, as I mentioned before, fuel economy is good, performance is great. With the right options, it's comfortable, it rides good, it looks so good. It still looks so good. The newer Mercedes models, they have this monotone, that's very familiar design language, and I mean a big CLS looks like an A-Class limo, so even an AMG GT looks like an CLA from the front, and the AMG GT costs like 4 or 5 times more, no, even 7 times more. So still, I really recommend the C400. Just keep in mind the options I mentioned and you should be good to go. Well, if you like this ownership review of the C400, make sure to give the video a like. And if you like to see more reviews in general, or ownership reviews, buyer guides, everything related to cars, then make sure to subscribe at the Faith in Cars YouTube channel.